Hello, everybody. I am live on Facebook, and this is only the second time that I've done this. And so I was sitting here, like I'm sure many of you guys do, at times when you're ready to do something and you want to do something and you feel led to do something that you want to do, but you seriously just fear steps in. It's like, I can't do it. What about this? What about that? I'm not ready. What am I going to talk about? All of those things that you want to talk about, all of a sudden you start getting this fear that you can't do it. And so I just sat here for a minute in my chair with my dog that many of you know, I'm sure, is snoring underneath my feet. And I was just kind of praying about it. And it's like, you know what? How do you do that? How do you step out and do something that you're really nervous about? And yes, even me, I think I told you guys that before. This is not my favorite thing to do. I am very structured, very love everything in order. I like to know what I'm doing. And so going live is always a little bit of a struggle for me. But I had promised myself, and I promised a lot of the people that I know follow and listen, that I really wanted to start diving into my book a little bit with people. And oh gosh, I see so many people are joining in. This is awesome. Sherry and Joe. Hey, Joe. Lynn, Gary, Karen, Rick. This is awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Which even makes me more nervous that you guys are here listening to me. But anyway, you know what? In a few weeks when I'm on here, this is going to be cake, and it's going to be so easy. But what I really wanted to do was I wanted to start with my book. And today, all I really want to talk about with you guys, and if you have questions, and I really want to have you engage with me a little bit, but in the beginning of the book, and I want to go through this book. I know this sounds really crazy, but I want to go through bits and pieces of this throughout when the next couple of months, and just talk about the different parts of this book and kind of share with you, and then tell you where I was in that journey and how I got through it, and how maybe it can help you take a step to do the same thing. So I want to start today by just going in. I'm not going to read all the forewords, and I'm not going to read the all the other stuff that comes with the book, but I do want to start before I even get into it. The topic of my conversation that I want to start today with you guys is, and I have this book out, just an FYI, like I'm reading it, and I'm really not, because there's no way I'm going to be able to read the small print without my reading glasses on, and I'm sure you guys can relate, some of you. But I have my ebook pulled up on my screen, so if I look like I'm not really reading and I'm staring at a screen, that's why. But here's what I want to start with, and I want to get a conversation about going. And I really would love for you guys to, say anything, or maybe share, or if you don't want to share, and it's more private, that's great. You can personal message me, or even just write it down yourself. But the first part that I start in my book is I tell people that I asked over 2,000 people when I was preparing to write this book. And I was asking everybody, and asking 2,000 people who didn't know me, that were doing it anonymously, and others that I did know. But I asked those people, I said, what is something that people think about you that isn't necessarily true, right? Like a misconception. What is a misconception about you? Think about that. We all have them, and we also have misconceptions about other people. Have you ever met somebody and you just immediately, don't care for them or whatever, but then once you really start meeting them, learning their story, you realize, wow, I really like them, because you had this misconception of them from the beginning. And so we all deal with that kind of thing. But so I want to read to you guys some of the misconceptions that I pulled out to put into my book, because I think I tried to pull out some that I really thought that everybody would be able to relate to. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of looking at, hey, Sherry, people that are speaking. I don't want you guys to think I'm not paying attention, but hi, Jeff. So anyway, here are some of those misconceptions that I think maybe if you listen to these, that you guys will relate to. So one of them, I'm just going to kind of go down the list and read. I put on an air of being wealthy to fit in, when in fact, we have so much credit card debt, it scares me. Another one, they think I'm a pushover because I'm so nice to people. I am always the life of the party and the fun friend who always makes fun of herself to get laughs. I do this in hopes that people will like me because I really don't like myself very much. I want to change and be confident, but I don't know where to start. I always have been taking care of someone. I have always taken care of someone. So the misconception is that I don't need someone to take care of me. I put on a strong front because I don't like to be vulnerable. Aren't these good, guys? Here's another. They think I am wild because I have tattoos and purple hair. How many of you are guilty of that one? People think I am confident, but I am not. Another, I am a total control freak. I need everything to look perfect so people think I have it all together. I don't. Sometimes because I always appear happy and positive, people think my life is easy and so-called perfect. So not true. I do not like to show emotion, more specifically, cry in front of others to seem like I have it all together and that I can handle it. I never ask for help. I don't want others to think I am dependent on anyone. People think I'm stuck up when in reality, I'm just very insecure. That was a big one for me when I was younger. I know a lot of people thought that I was really kind of stuck up, or that's what we used to call it. I don't know what you call it nowadays, but I was just very insecure. And I talk about that in my book. People who knew me probably would have never thought that I was insecure or had low self-esteem, but let me tell you, very much so, very much so. So another one is I act tough in front of others and say whatever I feel, even if it hurts someone's feelings, not because I want to look mean, but because I want to feel important. I honestly lack self-esteem. Here's another. I live behind the misconception that I am less than others, that I deserve the hardships and pain I experience because I'm unworthy of true and real happiness. But here's another one I hear a lot. If I could find a great guy, I would finally be happy. Everyone thinks because I'm skinny and then I don't eat anything. I actually eat all the time and I'm so self-conscious of my body. How many of you, seriously, that's a huge one because we, especially as women, we're always so weight conscious and it's all about how we look and things. And so when we see somebody, I said this one time to a friend of mine said this to me and I get it. She said, you know what, if somebody's heavier or struggles with their weight that way, you would never look at them and say, hey, you need to stop eating that, or, you need to lose some weight. That's something you would never say. But on the reverse side, if someone is really thin, you don't know what they deal with. And she was telling me, she has, and I have had this a few times where people will just say, you need to eat a cheeseburger, girl. And it's like, you know what? People don't understand that for someone that like people that I've met who really do struggle keeping weight on, that can be just as offensive to them and as hurtful to them as somebody, who needs to and wants to lose weight. And so that's why it's really weird that, as a society, we think that it's not okay to say something to someone if we think they need to lose weight, in our opinion. But we think it's okay to tell somebody, in our opinion, that they need to eat a cheeseburger because you think they're too thin. So that's another one that's really good. A big misconception I think people have, and she's saying, this person is saying, you know what, that really hurts my feelings because that's not true about me. So here's a good one. I live in fear of people discovering the real me. Interesting. I feel sad these are good. These are two good ones. And I put these in back to back, you guys, because seriously, this gets a conversation started. Okay, let me read them and then you guys will know why. I feel sad every day when I leave my kids at daycare, when I really want to be a stay-at-home mom. So I act like working is so important for women to protect my own feelings. Okay? And then I've got this one as well. I wish every day that I could have a career and not be a stay-at-home mom. I pretend that I think all moms should stay home with their kids because I don't want to be judged for wanting to go back to work. Isn't that interesting? Totally interesting that you have women over here that feel like this misconception of them and they're trying to put out to the world, oh, being a stay-at-home mom is so important and you shouldn't work, and shame on you for working. And then when really they want to go back to work, and then you have people on the other end that are working and feel so guilty about it and want to stay home that they want to put out there. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like these are all misconceptions, and people that are putting out these misconceptions about themselves, or it's done unintentionally. Just a thing to think about. I push my kids to be exceptional, so I look like a great parent. That was a good one when I got that one. Here's the last one I'm going to share, because in case anybody can even understand this at all. I have a teenager addicted to drugs, and instead of sharing and letting people know our struggles, I hide the whole dark area of our lives as if it doesn't exist. I often wonder if I would just get real, I could find others that deal with the same issues. So I wanted to share all those with you just to kind of start that conversation about, I would love for you guys to either, you want to share, that's great. If somebody did share, they think I'm superficial. That's a great one, Sherry, because a lot of people, no matter what kind of error you put out or whatever, people will think that. And it's just like, just because maybe you're confident or you like other things, people will think that. What do you say? Because of my looks? Yes, I get that, Sherry. I get it. I do get it. And that's also with some more of the other ones that I've heard. I used to get that all the time, and I still do. People think, because when I go somewhere, I like to look put together, because not for everybody else, but for myself. It just makes me happy. It makes me happy. I love being a girl. I love makeup. I love hair. I'm from that industry. And so for me, I love doing that kind of thing. And so then when you go out, for my whole life, you get judged by other women, especially, who think, like you just said, that I'm superficial, that I think I'm all that. And honestly, people who do finally get to know me know that I am so not that way at all. It's just that I enjoy being a girl. I enjoy wearing makeup and doing my hair. And if that's not your thing, that's great. I love my daughters because they are so like they love it, but they don't care. They'll go out to shopping with their hair in a ponytail, no makeup. And I love that about them. So everybody is different. And I think that's what's important. But I want you guys to think about, what are those misconceptions that people have about you, and how you could maybe find a friend or, get with someone that would actually challenge you guys to help overcome those misconceptions or about each other. Really, it's just about starting a conversation. It's about, just being real with each other. And that's what I want to do with my book. I want to start conversations with people. I want to start people thinking. I want to have mothers and daughters reading the book together and sharing and saying, gosh, did you know I used to feel that way too? And I think it's just going to bring people together. And so that's what I want to do. And I just wanted to share that a little bit with you guys today, just about the whole aspect of the misconceptions that we have about ourselves and about other people. So I want to thank all of you guys for joining. It's so exciting to see so many people. I will get better at this, I promise. Again, this is a little uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to press through. I'm going to press through my fears, and I know for a fact that in a few weeks, I'm going to be a pro at it, right? So I hope you guys all have a good day, and thanks for joining. And if you want to join in, as I said, if you want to get emails, I'm going to be emailing people. I'm going to email actual excerpts from my book that you can read. And so if you want to do all that, I'll put the link below. But I would love to have you join, and let's get this conversation started. Let's start talking, and let's just see where it takes us, okay? You guys have a great day.